my name is Erika Yenni Kanggunum with student number 55. Listemes, words, idioms and compounds. Morphology. First, we go to the definitions. A listemes is a word or phrase, or according to Steven Pinker's, a stretch of sounds that must be memorized because its sounds or meaning does not conform to some general rule, also called the lexical item. All word roots, irregular forms, and idioms are listemes. The term listemes was introduced by Anne-Marie de Sciolo and Adrian Williams in their book on the definitions of word meat fresh, 1987. So we can see the example and observations below, like chunk, collocations, lexeme, lexical integrity, lexicon, and morpheme. Example and observations. The second sense of word is a stretch of sounds that has to be memorized because it cannot be generated by rules. Some memorized chunks are smaller than a word in the first sense, such as prefix like an and re, and suffix like able and ed. Others are larger than a word in the first sense, such as idioms, cases, and collocations. A chunk of any size that has to be remembered. Prefix, suffix, and whole word idiom. Collocation is the second sense of word. A memorized chunk is sometimes called a listemes, that is, an item that has to be memorized as part of a list. And the next, in their book on the definitions of word, de Sciolo and Williams, 1987, introduced the term listemes for linguistic units that are thought to be listed individually, as opposed to generated online. Their listemes include root morphemes, most derived word, certain synthetic phrase, idioms and probably collocations, and a few sentences. And the next is properties of listemes. The lexicon contains a list of lexical items, for example, nouns, adjectives, verbs, and adverbs. De Sciolo and Williams, 1987, referred to the items listed in the lexicon as listemes. Most listemes are single vocabulary items such as mediatrix. The use of the term listeme is meant to highlight the fact that words in this sense must be listed in the lexicon because they have idiosyncratic properties, not governed by general principles that speakers must simply memorize. By contrast, synthetic phrases are generated by general rules and are analyzable in terms of those general rules, so they do not need to be listed in the lexicon. The idiosyncratic properties of listemes typically include by morphological properties, like mediatrix is borrowed from Old French. It takes the suffix "iges" and plural. Semantic properties. Mediatrix means a go-between. Mediatrix is a human and female, and the male equivalent is mediatrix. And phonological properties, indicating pronunciation, like for example, mediatrix. And synthetic properties. Mediatrix is a noun, countable, feminine, and each other. By Francis Katamba, Morphology, St. Martin Press, 1993. Thank you.